Hello, everyone. Welcome to your finals week. I'm super excited to have finals week be here. I'm sure you guys are as well. It's been a long 11 weeks, but you guys have been just driving through and you've been doing so well that now we're at that final stage. And leading into finals week, things are a little bit different than they have been in the past 10. So I wanted to send out one more video to kind of go over what the last couple of steps are for this week. Now, I found this Vine that I think is super funny, and I'm sure that all of you are at this stage in your semester kind of saying, okay, how am I really doing? Like, almost like you don't want to know. So let's take a listen here to what Ross has to say, and then we'll move on from there. All right, so if you are Ross right now, if you're at that like really high squeaky phase in your semester, I understand. I have been a student before. I've been in your spots, in your seats, and that feeling that you're having is completely normal. But it doesn't have to be. You guys have been doing so well the last 10 weeks that this finals week should be like butter. Should be no problem for you guys moving forward into your finals because you're going to do just fine. I promise you. A couple of weeks back, I sent out a final exam review. Hopefully you've printed that off, you've been looking at it, you've been making notes, you've been writing things down, kind of just getting the idea of what your final is going to be about. I also think that it's really important that you should be reviewing your quizzes up to this point. Your final exam is essentially a compiled version of all of the quizzes that you've taken. So making sure you're going back through, looking at your old quizzes, seeing what you got right, seeing what you got wrong, and moving from there will be very important for you guys. Now, I'm not sure how you're feeling about the practical final exam, if maybe you're more nervous for this online exam or if you're more nervous for your practical final exam, but both of them are so easy. You'll be just fine, I promise you. I say that every quarter, and nobody believes me at first, and then they take their final exam or they take their practical and they're like, oh my gosh, you were so right. And I love seeing that, it all clicks at the end for you guys. So, there's no real content for the week, so what I want to do is kind of just give you the timeline for homework, and kind of go over what your final exam is really going to be about. So you do still have one discussion post this week. I know some of you are like, really? Like, can't we just be done? But no, the answer is you can't. So this week you do have one discussion post. Please make sure that your initial discussion post is in no later than Tuesday, March 14th by midnight. And as you're looking at your discussion post this week, it's really a reflection on patient identification. So there's a video within your discussion board that you need to watch, very similar to that of when you watch the one about Hannah's behavior in Module 4. So what you're going to do is watch that video and answer the following questions. Now, just because you're answering the following questions doesn't mean you get to write them in just question answer form. Please make sure you're still using correct APA format with in-text citations and a reference at the bottom. The questions you need to answer are, what was the most concerning to you? How can you prevent identification errors from happening? And list the steps and procedures that you can take to assure that patients are safe. I think that those are great segues for conversations and leading into your future quarters here at Rasmussen. I think this is the perfect way to kind of end a quarter, is talking about patient safety and patient identification safety. So again, initial discussion post is going to be due March 14th, which is Tuesday by midnight. Now here's where it gets a little different. your discussion reply post to at least one classmate is not going to be on Saturday, but instead it will be Friday by midnight, Friday, March 17th. With this being finals week, you do not get the additional Saturday and Sunday to work on homework. Everything will close down at midnight on Friday. So that means that you will not have access on Saturday and Sunday to do your work. So please, this is extremely important for finals week. You need to make sure that everything is done Friday by midnight, okay? Now, with your final exam, that is a 75-question quiz, all multiple choice or true false, and you do have a time limit of 75 minutes. Now, here's the interesting thing about finals week and the final exam. You do get 2 attempts at taking that final exam, both your written and your practical. Now, obviously, your practicals are going to take hold in your lab classes, so I'm not going to talk about those ones too much, but I do want to talk about the written final exam. Now, in order to successfully pass your written final exam, you have to have a 73% or higher. If you obtain that in your first attempt, that's awesome, great job, you can move forward, you can put this class behind you, right? If, however, you do not pass your first attempt with a 73% or higher, you will be prompted and a second attempt will open. Now, what I suggest is if you're doing that, if you do not pass that first attempt, do not go right back into taking the second attempt. It is not good. It doesn't ever end well. Trust me. I know from experience. What I would suggest is taking a couple of hours, either a couple of hours or even a day, depending on when you take your exam. Take a break in between there, because not doing that will actually cause you to do worse on the exam, okay? Keep that in mind. But if you have to take the second attempt, make sure that it is done before Friday at midnight, because again, that's when your course is closed. You can't take anything after that point. First attempt, you don't get the 73%. Second attempt opens, and you'll have to pass that one with a 73% or higher as well. Now, here's the catch. If you, however, pass the second attempt, and let's say that you got an 86, random number here, you'll actually see your grade come up as a 73%. The reason is that is what a passing grade would be. So no matter what you get on that second attempt, let's say you got 100%, you're only going to see it show up as a 73%. I want to tell you that now so it doesn't upset you guys later when you see that come through if you need the second attempt, but I strongly don't think that anyone will need that second attempt. I promise. You guys are going to be golden. You've been doing awesome these last 10 weeks. I can only imagine that even more amazing things are going to happen in week 11 for you. Now, one thing I really like to do is once the course closes, you've finished everything is turned in, what I like to do is actually send out emails to students once I've graded everything and give you what your final grade is, right? That's something that everybody wants to know, especially leading into break week. You don't want to be questioning, how did I do? Did I pass? Did I not pass? I will send out that email and I'll tell you, hey, you got an 80. Awesome job. Have a great break, and we'll see you when you get back. Okay? I typically do that because if I were you and I was a student, I would want to know what I got on my final exams, what I got in the overall class. And I think that that's really kind of an important piece for all of you heading into break week. You want to know those things, right? So recap for the week. It is finals week. Don't be a Ross. Make sure your initial discussion post is going to be completed and turned in no later than Tuesday, March 14th by midnight. And please make sure that your response post and your final exam are both completed no later than Friday, March 17th by midnight. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. Good luck on your finals, not that you need them. And if you need me, please make sure that you're reaching out via Blackboard course messaging, you're calling me on campus, or you're sending me an email through your S-mail. I look forward to what all you guys put together for finals week. Great work these last 10 weeks, and head on strong into your finals week. Bye, guys.